Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to say thank you, St. George's by the River. You've made an impact on 45 people living in boarding houses in Red Bank and Asbury Park. You've really touched their lives. Thank you. If you recall, back in early December, we all took a name, or many of us did, to buy a gift that they have chosen, these folks have chosen themselves, that they would like for Christmas. This was a first-time thing that we did. Usually we say, okay, everybody's getting sneakers, or everybody's getting sweatshirts. This time we respected their choices. And you came out wonderfully for us, and I appreciate that. I appreciate 2 weeks before Christmas you're shopping and wrapping and getting it to us on time. And that's no small feat, I know, with our busy lives. Thank you. But I wanted to tell you what a beautiful Christmas these folks had. We delivered our gifts right away to the boarding houses, and the house managers hid all the gifts until Christmas morning. They got up early and put them under the trees, and these people, who are anywhere from 35 to 80, were like little kids in the morning, Christmas morning, with all these gifts. You can imagine how delighted they were. And the house manager in Red Bank told me to say that they were happy. It's just the tip of the iceberg. It went so much deeper than that. And I wanted to share with you some of the experiences that they had. Nancy is 80 years old, and she arrived about 2 years ago to the Red Bank house. Prior to that, she was sleeping under a tree at a local police department. All these folks, including Nancy, have some psychological challenges. Many have been through trauma. So these folks really need support to live fruitfully. But she's always worn, since the day she arrived, a pink hat that said Miami on the top, every single day. Thanks to one of you families, she got a brand new hat on Christmas. And she had this huge smile on her face. I must give you a little backstory. For the last 6 months, they've been trying to find a family member. She wanted to see her son once again. She's 80. And he didn't respond. They've wrote letters, they've communicated, trying to reach out, no response. And so she's been very, very sad and never smiled anymore. So on Christmas morning, when she put this pink hat on, she had this huge smile on her face, and everybody was so happy for her. In fact, when she went off to her program the next day, the driver said, "Nancy, you've got a new hat." She said, "Yeah, it's pink. It's my favorite color." He said, "Oh, you got a new sweatshirt." She said, "Yes, it's yellow, my favorite color." We've really touched Nancy. There are many men, and many of you might have known, asked for just gift cards. And these men all had big smiles. They were high-fiving each other. They were so thrilled. They were carrying around their bags. It was just, someone cared about them. They read their Christmas cards that you wrote. It meant so much. And they were just thrilled that someone cared about them and what they wanted. Some of them, in fact, reportedly went out Christmas afternoon and walked down to either Wawa or Dunkin' Donuts and started spending the money. It also strikes me that folks, and I've seen this for many years, folks who have nothing are the first ones to share it with their buddies. They've got nothing. And they said, "Come on, I'll buy you a cup of coffee." Isn't that cool? Jason, who is also in Red Bank, is smart. He works full-time, in fact. He didn't open his bag all day. He loved it. He had a big smile on his face. He read the card, but just carried that bag with him all day with a smile on his face. He got a pretty bag with a big bow on it, and he was thrilled. It was something about his self-esteem that he got something from someone who cared. Victoria got a beautiful, soft, fuzzy bathrobe for Christmas, and she hugged it all morning. It was like, she said it felt like love, hugging that bathrobe. Janice, unknown to me, is 72, and she has cancer. She aches. She's going through chemo. It's sometimes happened. Every bone in her body was hurting, especially her feet. All she wanted for Christmas was a new pair of sneakers. Well, one of you got her a pair of Skechers. And with tears in her eyes, she had them on. She said, "My feet feel so good. This is the best pair of sneakers I ever had." Someone cared. Tyrone is a very large man. He's a lovely, sweet man that I like talking to. He's probably 300 pounds if he's a pound, I tell you the truth. And all he wanted were special earbuds. He has a new telephone that someone gave him this past year, and he wanted some earbuds to go with him. This 300-pound man was up on his feet, jumping like a child on Christmas morning. I got earbuds. He was so happy. Terrence is a former teacher. He was very sad. His family lives in the area, and they wouldn't let him come home for Christmas. He has emotional outburst problems, but they had younger nieces and nephews, and his families did not want him coming home for Christmas. And he was very sad about that. Emotionally, it was hard to lift him. But the day that he got a gift on Christmas morning, he read the card, and he said, "I feel so loved today." Mike was on the street up until a month ago. And he was brought into one of the houses, and one of the managers was very aware we were buying gifts for everyone and said, "Mike, is there something that you would like for Christmas?" And he said, "Yeah, I'd love a sweater, and I'd like a 24 by 30-inch canvas. Not just any art canvas, but 24 by 30 inch. So he was thrilled to get that. In fact, one of you bought 2 of them for him. And don't you know, on Christmas afternoon, he was painting. Oh boy, I can't hold it together. Just think about that. He's homeless on the street a month ago. Christmas Day, he's painting. He apparently has been carrying around his art supplies all along. Timothy is 65. And if you're a 65-year-old man who grew up around here, you understand when I say he's a Mets fan. And he was thrilled this winter, this summer, when the Mets were doing so well. He was the biggest fan. He never missed a game when he was home. And he dreamed about having a Mets jacket. We are lucky enough to have a member of our congregation whose daughter works for Major League Baseball. She reached out to the New York Mets. Christmas morning, he opened up his bag. He had a Mets jacket. He stood there like this, and he was fist-pounding all his buddies because he had a Mets jacket. How wonderful. What a wonderful gift. Before I close, I want to tell you about one more person. The important thing is, I know I tell you every year, please write that Christmas card with something hopeful and uplifting to that one person. And believe me, those cards go so far. They hang on to them. Sometimes it's more important than the gift that you so generously gave. One family gave Fenton a lovely mechanical pencil set. It was truly lovely. I was there at the Asbury Park House on Friday, and I talked to him for half an hour. He showed me his artwork, very lucid, very smart young man. And then he showed me his gift, this beautiful case. He showed me all the mechanical pencils and the markers and all the extra leads. He's a very analytical kind of guy. He was showing me how everything was working and all. And I noticed, I said, "Fenton, that Christmas card is still in there." He said, "Yeah, I like to read it once in a while." So thank you, George, St. George's by the River family. You did it. You really made a difference in these folks' lives.